Good morning, my darling. Welcome to Rise and Stretch. This is going to be a quick little flow with lots of interesting things for your spine. So the first thing I want us to do is just check in with how our spine feels. And I think a big thing that a lot of people are always trying to improve is the thoracic spine. You know, how stiff does it feel? How blocked does it feel? So I want you to almost solidify from your lumbar spine downwards and just gain a sense that there's quite a lot of stability as you arch just your upper back. Ooh, how far can you go? And then I know it feels kind of tricky to do this, but almost imagine a ball in front of you and you're trying to curve over the ball. And at the same time, your upper back is trying to push into the wall behind you. Oh, feels so nice. And then finally, keep your feet on a spot that you can always return to and gain a sense of how much rotation has your upper back got. Now, I know it seems a little bit crazy, but sometimes moving unrelated parts of the body can actually help our spine. And if you know me, you'll know that the hands and the feet are really powerful places for us to move to actually improve our overall mobility and strength. So let's actually start off with just some nice big ankle circles. And then we're going to change direction. Notice where it's shaky and really seek out that area, making sure you're trying to trace the edges of it as precisely as possible. Change over to the other leg. And then we're going to reverse the circle. Brilliant. Now we're going to move on to our hands. So you're going to give me the biggest wrist circle you can possibly give with a really strong fist. And then we're going to reverse it the other way. Let's change it over to the left hand. And I'm always surprised by how often I do these things. And yet I still have the shakiness. And the shakiness shows that there's reduced mapping. So it tells me that actually the complexity of this part of the brain requires even more load than what I'm giving it. So I thought that might be interesting for you. Let's change direction and just notice if you make the circle really, really, really big, does it get shaky at a certain point? Okay, brilliant. So we've done a little bit in terms of simple movements like a circle. You are welcome to stay with those if the next thing feels like a big jump. But I want you to lift up one leg again and see if you can draw a figure of 8 with that foot now. And then let's see if we can reverse the figure of 8. Fantastic. Change over to the other foot. I actually visualize an actual infinity sign and I try and imagine my toes are tracing the edges of it. Reverse the shape. And of course, I've chosen a sideways 8. You can also do a vertical 8. You can mix it up. Notice which foot actually has a harder time coordinating this. Fantastic. We're going to do the same thing with the hands now. So start off playing, holding a tray. Give yourself a big 10. Turn your fingernails down to the ground and then give me a big 10. Little finger down. Give yourself down. Give it back to me. Nice. And then I know that it feels very robotic at the moment, but can we kind of almost make it a bit more flamboyant? So like the fingers are curling up one at a time. And you're making a really elaborate figure of 8 with the wrists and the hands. And you're really working on getting the fingers truly involved. Now we're going to take it the other way. And my right hand, even though I'm right-handed, is lazy, so I'm having to really focus on it. Don't leave me hanging, mister. Oh, now we're going to have a go at the spine as a retest and just see, has there been any changes? So again, you're focusing on the lower half of the body really strong, and you're going to do a little arc into your upper back. And just see, can you take it a bit further than you did before? We've got a ball in front of us now, curve over the ball, and at the same time, push your upper back into the wall behind you. Yeah, definitely got a bit more range. And now let's have a go at your rotation. Oh, fantastic. So I know that doesn't feel particularly free and magical yet, but it's a big, big step forwards. We're actually going to shift out of the upper back now into the lower back for the lumbar spine reset. I absolutely love this. It's dreamy. You're going to start off with your arms by your side. Take a huge breath in. And as you breathe out, you're just going to let the whole body flop to the left. You can even let the hip shift to the right a little bit. The right arm now becomes like a heavy ragdoll arm, and you're just going to turn diagonally towards that left leg. You'll notice that my lumbar spine stays pretty neutral. You're not moving from the hips at all. And then you're going to let this heavy shape on the side allow that big QL, quadratus lumborum, that big square muscle that's kind of around the back body, just giving it a chance to have a bit of weight on it. You're now going to curve around towards the front and then slowly stack back up before we do the other side. Slow inhale. And then as you breathe out, flop it. Inhale again. Let the top arm flop you down. Fantastical. And we're going to stay there. And it's almost like an imaginary string is diagonally pulling you backwards. So you can feel that QL, quadratus lumborum, getting a chance to get some length behind it. Good. And then we're going to rotate back to the front and slowly stack it back up. And we are going to do this again, but I'm going to sandwich it with a breathing drill. So the first breathing drill is called the lung pop, and the second one is called the lung compression. So I want you to cross your left foot over your right. Inhale, take your right arm up. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine you're squashing the left lung as you do your side bend, and you're going to breathe out forever, like literally until you have nothing left. It's going to feel like a little bit of energy at the end of the breath, almost like you're squeezing. And then I want you to maintain the side bend, because at the very end of the out breath, you're going to start inhaling into the top right lung. And I want you to breathe all the air in the room until it feels like you might pop the lung. And then relax. Those breathing drills are tiring. Side stretch again, the same way we did for the lumbar reset. Left arm is the one reaching down to the outside edge of the ankle. Right arm flops you. Oh, feel how nice it is on that lower back area. Rotate back to the front and restack. Let's take it to the other side now. Side bend. Connect with the sensation. Diagonal. Slowly round to the front. And back up. Okay, cool. We have got one more side. Yeah, I didn't forget. Left ankle over right, left arm up. Inhale with me. We're going to squash out this right lung. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. Go as far as you can go. How low can you go? Come on, you can do a bit more. When you literally can't go anymore, inhale into this top left lung. Come on, you got a bit more. Keep breathing in. Mamma mia. Are we ready for the last lumbar reset? Little side stretch. Ragdoll flop. Round to the front. And stack. Last one now. Left stretches. And round to the front to complete. The final movement that we are going to be practicing, I call the combo moves. And the reason is because exactly what I started this session with, we often move our spine in rotation. That's one movement. Side flexion. That's another. Forwards or backwards movements. But actually our spine loves these movements to be combined. So I actually want us to practice these in a lunge. So step your left foot forwards, right leg back. And I want you to we did the breathing exercise a bit to help you with this. Do the side flexion that we practiced a moment ago, but rotate towards your left leg. You're welcome to use the arm if that feels comfortable. Now I want you to keep the side flexion, but I want you to rotate. You can use your left hand to help you towards the ceiling. And then we're going to shift between the two. So you're going to rotate towards the floor, and you're going to rotate towards the ceiling. And it's almost like turning it into a bit of a warrior lunge. You can sort of stretch that back leg out. And you can use that left hand just to give you a little bit more space. Almost like it's giving you a bit of a helping hand. Last one coming up. Excellent. Bring the hand down. Let's change over. Ooh. Let's change over to the other side. Left leg back. You can start off bent, and then as you get into it, you can start opening out a bit more. Your choice, whether or not you lift up through that left arm, side flex into the right side, and then rotate the body first towards the floor. So we're comboing the movement, and then we're going to rotate away. Let's connect to our breathing as we do this. Don't worry about where the inhale is and where the exhale is. Just keep the flow of the breath. So the joints that we are working on as we do this are called your facet joints. And they're the little ones of the spine. You know, you've got your big disc joints. These are the little joints that are nearer the back body, actually. One more. Amazing. Whoa. Now, we are going to do one final thing. I'm going to recommend we do it with wide legs. It's sort of similar to what we've just done, but we're going to add in some rib circles. Now, rib circles are really hard to coordinate for some people. So if you find that that's you, I want you just to do a little cat-cow with the ribs. So really simple. As your motor control increases, the circles will actually feel relatively easy. We're going to start off hands quite high up, not on the waist, but actually on the lower ribs. So you can feel the side flexion. We're then going to rotate towards the left leg. So we're bending left, rotating left. Now I want you to give me 3 clockwise rib circles. 1. The hand's kind of giving you a bit of awareness. 2. 3, reverse the circle. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Now we're staying on the same left side, but we're going to rotate the chest towards the ceiling. Let's go clockwise. 1, 2. It's easy to skip the back portion. Really work hard in that area, and then reverse your circles. This must look really funny. Oh, take a breather in between. Give yourself a little shake, a little shimmy. Ready for the other side. Hands give you feedback. Bend your legs. It's not like a crazy deep goddess. Of course, if you want to, you can. But it's just comfortable kind of horse stance. Side flex on the right. Rotate right. Let's go clockwise. And then we're going to go anti-clockwise first. Or I should say next. And then we're going to rotate the body up towards the ceiling and go clockwise again. Notice where it's shaky. And then we're going to reverse. Awesomeness. Last thing, just before I let you go, let's reassess our thoracic spine in good old-fashioned linear movements. Just come backwards. Notice how that feels. Let's take it forward over our ball. And then let's take our twist. Now, don't worry if you're not Miss Flexible or Mr. Bendy. Just feel that there's a shift and a change and acknowledge that. Because it's really important to reinforce to your brain that you've done something good and that you are making progress. So be proud of yourself for carving out this time, and thank you so much for being with me on this morning routine.